Get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month. You'll get unlimited access to the news you need to stay engaged and connected to your community. Visit DuluthNewsTribune.com/subscribe now to get 3 months of local news for only 99 cents a month.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm Wyatt Buckner with the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's today's headlines. A juvenile who committed a drive-by shooting in the Denfeld neighborhood in the immediate aftermath of a Lincoln Park murder last summer has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Okemah Joseph Curry, now 18, agreed earlier this year to be certified as an adult in the August 2nd, 2023 incident that sent gunfire into at least 2 occupied homes on the 3900 block of West 4th Street. Curry admitted at a plea hearing in May that he shot toward a duplex that was rented by the 2 men responsible for killing one of his friends, Paris Allen, and wounding another, Caleb Reinhold Nemec. Court documents and testimony indicate the 2 men, Sanosi Bangora and Brandon Capone Williams Gillard, were not actually home when the shooting occurred. However, other homes were struck, including one where a 9-year-old child witnessed the incident. Another neighbor also previously described in the News Tribune having her glass dorm door shattered and several bullet holes left in her siding. Curry, then 17 of Grand Portage, was an eyewitness to the double shooting that sparked the retaliation. He had been hanging out at a residence on the 2500 block of West 2nd Street with his brother, Alan Reinhold Nemec, and another friend, Jackson Morales. Morales, according to testimony, summoned the group outside for a planned fistfight with Bangora and Williams Gillard. However, a brief confrontation led to both suspects opening fire from their car, striking Allen, 19, in the head and Reinhold Nemec, 18, in the buttocks. Curry and Morales immediately drove Reinhold Nemec to the hospital in Morales' car. Curry admitted that he then took the black Acura sedan, stopping briefly at a Mesaba Avenue residence where he had been staying, in order to retrieve a gun. Court filings indicate Duluth police officers were already stationed near Bangora and Williams Gillard's residence at 3904 West 4th Street when they witnessed Curry drive up, reach out the window, and fire several rounds just 30 minutes after the initial shooting. The teen, however, successfully evaded police that day. The Acura was found abandoned near an alley on the 800 block of Central Avenue, and Curry admitted he went to a friend's house. He was later arrested and charged in November after testing confirmed the presence of his DNA in the car and on a 9mm handgun and ski mask found nearby. The 5-year prison term imposed by Judge Dale Harris earlier this month was a minimum guideline sentence recommended under a plea agreement with the St. Louis County Attorney's Office. Curry also admitted to a probation violation in an earlier juvenile gun possession case, with a sentence to be served concurrently to the prison term, while another juvenile case with the same charge was dismissed under the agreement. With credit for time served, the teen could be released from prison in March 2027 to serve the final 1/3 of his sentence on supervised release. He also was ordered to pay $2,287 in restitution. Following President Joe Biden's withdrawal from the 2024 presidential election and several prominent Democratic endorsements for Vice President Kamala Harris, speculation is growing about who will be on the shortlist to be her running mate. One potential contender appears to be Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Walz has served as governor since 2019 and was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Minnesota's 1st Congressional District from 2007 to 2019. He endorsed Harris Monday on the social media site X, saying that she has his full support. Biden announced on social media Sunday that he would drop out of the race. Biden also endorsed Harris, with several DFLers following suit, in addition to the majority of the state's convention delegates, according to NPR. Walz told NPR News he would seriously consider being added to the ticket if asked. However, a spokesperson for the Walz administration said that his focus is on his current job. The Democratic National Convention, where delegates will select a presidential nominee, starts August 19th. As of Monday, Harris is the clear frontrunner, with speculation mainly surrounding who she will pick as vice president. Walz appears to be toward the bottom of that list, which includes Democratic heavyweights Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, California Governor Gavin Newsom, and Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. Political pundits widely believe that Harris is likely to pick someone from the Midwest, ideally from a battleground state. Minnesota has not voted for Republicans since 1972. While Walz has led Democrats in Minnesota to enact an unapologetic progressive agenda, which includes free school lunches for kids and abortion rights, millions of dollars in fraud concerning government programs have happened under his tenure as governor. Most notably, dozens of people have been charged in federal court for defrauding a food service program in Minnesota, with Republicans in the state blasting the Walz administration for its alleged lack of oversight. News of Biden's withdrawal has rocked former president and current Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump and his supporters. Trump suggested that the Republican Party should be reimbursed for money spent running against Biden, and that Biden was faking a COVID-19 diagnosis. Trump picked Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate during the Republican National Convention earlier this month. Now Dan Williamson joins us with a special guest.
Thanks, Wyatt. I'm joined by one of our colleagues, the great Jay Gabler, Duluth News Tribune arts and entertainment reporter. And Jay has a story that he's working on that we can read in Wednesday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune. It's also a story that you can find on our website before that at duluthnewstribune.com. Jay, the Paris Olympics are coming up. We have some local angles. What more can you tell us?
Indeed. Well, as you were saying, Dan, I'm not the sports reporter. I'm not any of our sports reporters. They're all, pros. But I asked our sports editor, Brandon Veal, if I could take a crack at this one from sort of an entertainment angle, right? We watch the Olympics on TV. It's entertaining, and that's my beat. So I took that as enough justification, and Brandon was kind enough to let me run with this story idea. I was kind of thinking, Duluth is thought of as more a winter Olympics town than a summer Olympics town, understandably. We certainly have more Olympians here who have excelled in winter Olympic sports than in summer Olympic sports, but I thought it might be interesting to sort of flip the script and actually talk to Duluthians who are involved in activities that are part of the Summer Olympics and get their perspective on the Olympics and what they'll be watching for. So I talked to local pros in gymnastics, in taekwondo, in heavy water sports like canoeing and kayaking, and in mountain biking, and asked them what they will be watching for in Paris this summer.
I imagine there was a lot to learn. What in particular did you learn from covering the story?
It was enlightening, as I hoped it would be, talking with people who are, passionate on their own level, given their lives to these sports, even though we're very far from the Olympics. It was just interesting to see these sports through their eyes and hear about their perspectives. I learned that one of the people I talked to, Randy Carlson, who teaches whitewater kayaking, canoeing, surfing, and other sports at UMD, actually was considering at one point in his life training to attempt to be competitive at the level of these Olympic athletes. But he realized that to find out whether he had what it took to potentially be in the Olympics, he would need to live somewhere that wasn't Duluth, that has the kind of pools and facilities that these athletes use in the Olympics. It's not the St. Louis River, but what Duluth has? The St. Louis River and Lake Superior and all sorts of other incredible opportunities to paddle, to surf, to engage in outdoor sports. So Randy said he's been so glad to be spending his life and career in Duluth. But I was interested to learn that at one point it was a choice for him whether to try to go for the gold or make a happy life in Duluth.
As far as our audience goes, what do you hope they take away from this article?
A little inspiration, Dan, because I think it was really inspiring to me to talk with these local pros and see the connections that they were making to these athletes who are at the absolute top of their games, right? These are the world's best athletes in these various sports who go to compete in Paris. And whether or not anyone, engaging in these disciplines in Duluth would ever or could ever be competitive at the Olympic level, they look at these Olympic athletes and see themselves in the people who love these disciplines, who love these sports, who train and feel a sense of accomplish, who are doing, the same kind of disciplines and facing a lot of the same challenges, albeit at a different level than people are who are, engaging in these sports here in Duluth. And it was just it reminded me why the Olympics are powerful and inspiring. They not only bring the world together, but they let people engaging in disciplines that aren't among the top, professional sports here in the US, but, are disciplines that are really popular and, a lot of people are accomplished at all around the world. They let people here in Duluth look at people at that level and, see a little bit of themselves.
Well said. I can't wait for the Olympics personally. I can't wait to read your article, Jay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Dan.
And again, you can read Jay's article in Wednesday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune. You can also find it on our website prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Wyatt, back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Good morning. This weather forecast for the greater Duluth area, mostly cloudy and cool today with an east wind around 10 miles an hour, gusting a little higher this afternoon. High temperatures only in the mid to upper 60s today. Generally overcast tonight with a low down around the low to mid 50s, and then tomorrow should bring more sunshine. Temperatures warming slightly into the lower 70s, a little warmer away from the lake. But the weather will continue to warm up this week, sunny and near 80 degrees on Thursday. Temperatures likely warming well into the 80s by the weekend. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The bi-weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. The latest episode explores the stone fortress of Douglas County, currently for sale. You can find that episode and others at duluthnewstribune.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Tom Olson and Mark Wasson. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.